I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
Batman.
Batman. Batman. Batman.
The Batman.
Batman. The Batman. I've seen the movie 3 times now, and I believe this to be the best interpretation of the character and mythos to this date. It's not only one of the best comic book films in recent years, but one of the best visually artistic films to come out of the new decade so far. The visual aesthetic the cinematographer Greg Fraser decided to go for this film is one of grounded pulp art almost, a neo-noir horror show through the darkened streets of Gotham, as well as visually immersive sequences that take audiences through the rain and dirt of Batman's brawl with the criminals he encounters. It's exciting. Director Matt Reeves focuses a lot of the audience's attention on the ongoing mystery narrative of the story, giving us time to really lean into Batman's cowl and see the horrors of the world he inhabits from his perspective, as he endures to solve this mystery and bring justice to those who have suffered the only way he knows how. With the film being released on HBO Max, I really wanted to share my takeaway thoughts from the movie and really delve in deep into the core of the film's message, and what it wants Batman fans to have after watching this film, what it wants to leave off moviegoers when they finish watching this film. For years now, people have been debating for what Batman on film should be. Every time a new Batman reboot comes around, the questions on everyone's head is, who should play him? How old is he? What rules does he play by? Should he have a Robin? Should he have a Superman? Should he have a Justice League? But a rare question I ever see tossed around once a new interpretation arrives is what his relationship to his Bruce Wayne is. Is Batman the mask to Bruce Wayne? Or is Bruce Wayne the mask to Batman? Which is his true identity? Himself. And I think what makes this movie special and different from the previous films is that it confronts those questions regarding the character with a moral and psychological dilemma he must face and resolve within himself. What has Batman or Bruce Wayne done to impact the city? What have they changed? What are they fighting for?
What I'm doing is my family's legacy. If I can't change things here, if I can't have an effect, I don't care what happens to me.
Robert Pattinson is god tier level. I can't stress enough how good he is in this role. How his eyes speak for his own words, how his body moving out of the shadows feels creepy but intense when we see him. How his reaction to the cops or thieves trying to unmask or tick him off is to just lash out in violence. He embodies a Batman in his second year, on the job flawlessly. A recluse who's unable to connect to others like a human being, so he puts on this emo and mission-centric persona to come out on top of others. Something he can't exchange or switch out of when he goes out as Bruce Wayne. Also a recluse, but one by choice. One that feels powerless and alone in the public eye. An identity that he feels obligated to abide by, but not the reflection he sees himself as. In this film, Bruce sees Bruce as the weakest link to himself. Not a billionaire playboy, but a child. An empty, sad child that died the night his parents died. Bruce sees the need to be Batman to cut out the emotion, that person. The person who cares if he dies or not. The person who puts others before the mission. The person who isn't afraid to open up to others and trusts to care. We don't see the parents' death again in this film, but we do feel the ramifications of it, and we see how it has brutalized Bruce on the inside. He's done. Done trusting and done caring. And that's where a lot of our main protagonists start off. They're done caring. They're broken, misguided, and isolated orphans that have so much pain and hate to give to the world, that broke their trust and abandoned them. This is the catalyst that pushes Bruce to realize the toll that vengeful justice does to a person. And this comes in the form of 2 characters.
I told you, baby. I can take care of myself.
The character of Selina, played wonderfully by Zoe Kravitz, helps to give Bruce some much needed humanity once he begins to open up his circle of trust outside of Gordon. Both her and Bruce share a vendetta for those they feel responsible for the pain they've endured, not realizing that both are on the same side here. Their egos and individual gains get in the way of the two understanding each other's pain, hidden behind their masks. Halfway through the film, the revelation that Selina's father is actually Carmine Falcone not only brings the two of them closer to each other's help, but also helps Bruce identify with Selina, looking past her as just another common criminal, seeing the novelty behind her intentions, and the similarities they both endured when they were young. He realizes that the two are hurtling towards the same path. Question is, who's gonna break first? Well, Selina. Almost. The significant loss of a loved one drives her near the edge to kill Falcone, scratching only the surface of what true negligence of life and humanity does to a man like Falcone. That edge isn't enough for her anymore. One bullet away, one price to pay.
He has to pay!
You don't have to pay with him. You paid enough.
Bruce detained Selina before she could pay that price for him, though. Realizing that the life Selina has in her hands, her own life, is worth more love and attention than the life of those who betrayed her. Selina overcomes vengeance with serenity, allowing Bruce to see half of the impact he can have on others if he allows justice to be driven by serenity instead of vengeance. The other side of that coin makes this all the more true.
What's black and blue and dead all over? You. If you think you can stop what's coming.
Edward Nashton, aka the Riddler, aka Paul freaking Dano,
Jingle bells, Batman smells rotten blazing.
is one of the best cinematic Batman villains to ever confront the ideals of the Caped Crusader. Very short behind Heath Ledger's Joker. And just like Ledger's Joker, what makes him so interesting is him being a result of a failed societal system. A system that forgot the people of the city, forgot about the homeless families, and forgot about the orphans that were promised a brighter future. The children of Gotham, laid to waste. Edward, a dark reflection of Bruce's cause, tarnishing all promises and identities in front of the public eye to bear witness. A silent and cryptic vigilante, killing all who wear a mask to cover the truth, by manifesting a mask persona for himself that stands to expose said truth, where the mask is no cover-up but his true self for the world to see. Edward sees Batman's influence on Gotham's underworld as a justification to seek vengeance on where Gotham has failed him. Vengeance on those who lied to get ahead. Vengeance on those who forget the victims of their actions. Vengeance. That's what this film's theme is all about. Vengeance. But more specifically, the price of vengeance.
Who the hell are you?
I'm vengeance.
Bruce realizes that by going about fighting against crime in Gotham with vengeance and selling himself as an agent of vengeance, he not only has the ability to strike fear in Gotham's underworld, but bring about an uprising inspired by said fear for those with more of a darkened and broken soul than his, those with a more personal and unforgiving mission than his, those who can't be saved from vengeance. Bruce sees what he has done, what he has reflected onto Edward, onto Selina. He realizes that his mission to save Gotham, he's created something else, something worse. Fear. Not justice, but fear.
Become what you have trained to be, an agent of vengeance. If this man lives, Batman dies. Batman may die, but Bruce Wayne... never.
Bruce Wayne is a part of Batman, as much as Batman is a part of Bruce Wayne. They aren't fake mask personas for one to wear and the other one to be worn. Batman is Bruce Wayne, taking all the pieces of his broken past, of his trauma, of his losses, and transforming them into a force for good, a force that can save and care for others like no one ever did for him. Bruce Wayne, is Batman's reminder for why he must surrender himself from ever crossing the line of vengeance. The humanity that still has power to heal and bring good to others without the use of his fists. The boy, through all the pain and agony endured since the moment that gun was pointed at him, that boy still held on to hope. And that's what this movie is about. That's what Batman is all about. He's more than vengeance. He's more than justice. Batman is hope. Hope that Gotham can be saved. Hope that Gotham can heal from its past. Hope that Gotham can fight the evil that corrupts it within. And hope that the people of Gotham can climb out of the shadows and into the light. Batman is that light. Batman is hope.